Manchester City are Premier League champions, but questions remain about how the club does business.
Many of the other Premier League clubs would actually want Manchester City to potentially be relegated.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Mcfc lads, and in this video we're going to be breaking down Manchester City's 115 FFP charges, and of course the trial for this begins on Monday the 16th of September. We're not actually going to see a decision for this until the summer or spring potentially of 2025, but I thought, you know what, there's so much nonsense, so much chat out there about these charges. Have City cheated, have we not? I thought I'd give you this video and I'd break them down, all 115 of them, and give you my opinion and also a little bit of insight into what they actually are. So for starters, it's worth knowing that not all 115 of these are individual. A lot of them are collected together, meaning that a lot of them will probably be resolved in the same kind of way. For example, one of the first ones is failure to provide accurate and up-to-date financial information from 2009-10 to 2017-18. So for starters, what this tells us is that actually the recent years when City have been very, very successful have been caused by a knock-on effect of whatever happened here, but we've not actually broken any rules in the last 5-6 years. It was actually 2017-18 that this sort of came up to. 54 counts of this, City not providing accurate and up-to-date financial information to the Premier League. So that basically means that City have been potentially or allegedly not given the correct information to the Premier League. Is that because we're masking what we've been up to? Is it because we've been not complying with their investigation? Is it even true? We don't know. But as I said, all these charges are in court on the 16th of September. So let me know what you think about this one. 54 counts of that. That is nearly half, a huge, huge chunk of the 115 charges is City basically not providing. And why is that bad? It means that the Premier League can't investigate City. They can't basically see what City are up to, even though City have to produce financial accounts for government purposes every year. The Premier League didn't receive enough up-to-date financial information from City, which basically means, yeah, we could be doing things behind the scenes that are dodgy or whatever. So that's why the Premier League have investigated that. The second thing down, 14 counts of failure to provide accurate financial reports for player and manager compensation from 2009-10 to 2017. So my understanding of this one is that the top one is just financial information. Maybe you might not know exactly where money's going, etc. But a key thing for the Premier League is knowing who's being paid and when they're being paid to kind of track whether these payments are legitimate, etc. And yeah, failure to provide accurate financial reports for player and manager compensation, 2009-10 to 2017-18, 14 counts of that. And a huge part of this is Roberto Mancini, the City manager, and apparently he was receiving another payment in a separate account, and that could be potentially dodgy because obviously those costs are then not offsetting City's revenue and profit, etc., allowing them to potentially comply with the financial fair play regulations artificially. So if you're paying Mancini through another business in Abu Dhabi, etc., it would basically mean that City can make more of a loss and get away with it and still comply with the rules. Not illegally as such, but it is obviously breaking Premier League FFP rules. Then we've got 5 counts of failure to comply with UEFA's regulations, including UEFA's club and licensing and financial fair play regulations. Now, we obviously won the CAS stuff in 2020. Some of that potentially used the time bar that was in place, meaning that some of the City's potential wrongdoing was actually too long ago to be used in court. I'm not sure what you want to read into that. Everyone said that City bribed their way out of it. Absolute nonsense. We were found not guilty. If you read the publication, we were found not guilty. And yeah, you look at this UEFA stuff, obviously a separate organisation to the Premier League. They liaise with each other, and one of the Premier League rules that you have to comply with UEFA rules as well. So yeah, 5 counts of that. It's worth noting here, there's no time bar for Premier League investigations. So if the stuff that City used a time bar on in the UEFA case was to put them in some hot water, then yeah, we wouldn't get away with it in that case. Then we've got 7 breaches of Premier League profit and sustainability regulations from 2015-16 to 2017-18. This is the same stuff that, for example, Everton and Forest have had trouble with recently. Forest were found not guilty, which was a huge win. Is that going to read anything into City potentially getting away with any of this stuff? Who knows? Yeah, 7 counts of that is the same kind of stuff that Everton and Forest have been in trouble with. So all this stuff about Everton 1 charge equals 10 points. City should get 1,150 points deducted for their 115 charges. We've only actually got 7 charges here that relate directly to the Everton charge or the Everton multiple charges they've now had. So yeah, that's That's the PSR stuff with the Premier League. That's directly saying City have broken FFP. We've spent too much within that period of time. That's 7 counts. So that could potentially correlate, if you were to use the Everton argument, to be more sensible, 70 points, you could say, for that if City were found guilty. But obviously, I think the Everton one was lowered a little bit and the Forest one was ruled out completely. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But that's the one that actually correlates to the stuff you may have seen in the news with other clubs. And then we've got 35 more counts of failure to cooperate with Premier League investigations from December 2018 to present. So that's the only stuff that's present. And as you can see there, 54 add 35. Some quick maths will let you know that's 89 of the 115 charges. Failure to cooperate with a Premier League investigation is a huge problem. You don't want that happening. But that has egged up the severity of this. It's a hugely severe case. Don't get me wrong. 115 counts of anything is a lot. But 89 of them relating to the other charges and our failure to cooperate with those other charges being investigated. So in reality, there's only actually 5 big charges that have many other little bits beneath them. So we've got, as I said, the failure to cooperate between 2009-10 and 17-18, the financial reports, the financial player and manager compensation. We've got the failure to comply with UEFA stuff that obviously we were victorious in that in 2020, but we'll see how the time bar stuff comes into this. And then we've got 7 breaches of PSR, profit and sustainability rules, for the Premier League between 2015 and 2018. That's the stuff that worries me the most as a City fan, but I'm not sure what you think of that. And then we've got failure to cooperate with Premier League investigations from 2018 to present. So the way I see this, there's 5 actual things. The 115 seems a lot more than it actually is, but it's still severe. The 7 PSR things are probably the most severe. And of course, you're actually accusing Manchester City and all the auditing companies, KPMG, Deloitte, whoever that may be, of being frauds and actually manipulating City's books, cooking the books, as you'd say. And I don't think that's feasible. So I think a lot of this, City will be found not guilty. That's my personal opinion. I don't know what you think of it. Make sure you leave a comment with your thoughts. Actually listen to what I've said. Try and digest it. Google anything you didn't understand. I'm not saying I'm by any means an expert in this. I'm not. But I've read into it and I've tried to understand it in a better capacity than I already did. 115 charges, as I said. It can be broken down into 5 actual sub-brackets, if you want to call it that. I actually think City will be found not guilty for the majority of this. There will be some stuff City get found guilty of. I think when you get 115 charges, it's difficult to kind of exonerate yourself from all of those. But I would say City, on the whole, I think will be not guilty. I think we may get a small points deduction, a small fine for the few charges we are guilty of. But we'll see. We'll see. I want to know what you guys think. If you're a City fan, if you're not a City fan, make sure you leave a comment down below with what you think about this. If it was a boring video, tell me it was a boring video. It probably was to people that don't care. But yeah, I thought I'd give you this video. Make sure you drop a like, share this video to anyone that needs to see it. And I think City will be found not guilty. As I said, on Monday, this whole case is taken into court, the 16th of September. And we'll see a verdict and a final kind of summary of this in probably this summer. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think. Let me know. Please drop a like, subscribe if you can. And big up to any of the new channel members. You're really, really helping keeping this channel going. There's a link to join that if you would like to in the description. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.